Alright guys, this is absolutely insane. There is a new method for farming 6IV Dittos that is automatic, and it's just crazy how you can take a Pokemon that can transform into anything and then manipulate it so well. So first off, what you want to do, head to Malai City and then head to the outskirts where you can go and catch an Alolan Grimer. Now I know you can catch Alolan Grimer in Hau'oli City, but we will need a level 48 Grimer to learn Memento. So catching this one at a higher level in a quick ball, which is still pretty simple, is going to be your best bet. So after that happens, what you want to do is you want to feed it a Rainbow Bean. This will give it 3 points of affection, and then that will also make it to where it gains bonus experience in battles. Then you can go and put a lucky egg onto your Alolan Grimer. Now it's pretty much just experience optimization and maximization at this point. So what you can do is just head to the Elite Four and try to grind through it, or you can use the Beware method. Now it does take specific Pokemon. If you don't have that set up and you don't want to do Beware SOS battles, the Elite Four is going to do the job just right, because after one pass through the Elite Four with the lucky egg, with all of the affection and all this other stuff going on, I was actually able to make it during the championship battle. So I hit level 48 and now here I am. Should an old move be replaced with Memento? Of course it should. So now it's actually pretty simple. So what you want to do is you want to give it Memento, and then you want to also move to leader all of the other moves to where the Alolan Grimer just knows Memento. So what you could also do is spice this method up with a little bit of money making, that if we throw Payday into the mix, this idea came off of Twitter, that we can also just make an infinite amount of money as well. So let's kind of incorporate this into a make Smeargle learn anything kind of guide. So what you want is Smeargle at 1 hit point from a false swipe, and then it's also going to be calling for help. When it calls for help, that's when you want to use the move that you want it to learn on that Smeargle, and then the new Smeargle will sketch it, and then we'll be good to go. So let's go and apply this right now. So I want this Smeargle to go and have Payday. That way I can Payday on my other Smeargle, and then this is effectively how you can make a Smeargle learn anything you want it to. So it does take a little bit of work, but there we go. Also, ideally, you can do this at level 1 by just making Smeargle relearn the move sketch after it gets rid of that. So I'm just going to use an Adrenaline Orb right here. I'm going to try to speed up the whole process of getting it to call for help. When it does, then things are going to get pretty good. So calling for help, hopefully we get the Smeargle here, and then it's just going to be Freelo from there. Boom. Perfect. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to knock out that Smeargle with the move I am looking for. So Payday, hit that Smeargle, and then the other Smeargle will now sketch my Payday while also knocking out that Smeargle. Also, I'm going to make a little bit of money on the side, which is pretty nice. And now that he's going to sketch it, you pretty much just switch in your Smeargle, and then you sketch that Smeargle now using Payday. I don't need to show you that. Let's go back to what's going on. And now it's time to squad up. So here are the Pokemon you're going to need. Your Recycle Smeargle, your False Swipe Pokemon, your Switcheroo Pokemon, and then also your Memento Pokemon. Now I am aware that, you know, this is not the only Memento Pokemon in the game, but we do have some issues that are going to be happening with the start of Pokemon Sun and Moon, because right now, the only Memento Pokemon that are easily accessible without like breeding or anything like that will be the Litwick and also the Alolan Grimer, and the Alolan Muck will learn it at level 58, I believe. So on Saturday, you can do a Melee Island scan, and that has how you get the Litwick. Litwick will also get the Memento at an earlier level, so it won't take as long to get it up to the required level, but it will be on a specific day. Also, after Pokebank is available if you're watching this video in the future. Ooh, then you can just go and transfer over a Memento Pokemon that you already have, and that will work just fine, but it can only know Memento. So now I'm also going next level with this strat as well, that I have leftovers on my Alolan Muck, because that's going to make it to where my Smeargle, or now the opposing Smeargle, can Payday me, and then I'm not going to lose any health, because it's level 7, I'm level 50, Muck is tanky, and then the stats are going to be copied from the Ditto, so I'm going to be able to heal up after every Payday. So now that's also going to bring in another thing. If you're doing the Payday strat, you cannot do this for experience, because if you're gaining experience, then the Smeargle over levels. So I recommend turning off your EXP share, because it's going to make things faster. However, if you want to do this for experience, that's very possible, because all you have to do is mash A, and you gain infinite amounts of experience. It's going to be a slow rate, but it's still free experience. Also, instead of having a separate False Swipe Pokemon and a separate Switcheroo Pokemon, you can pretty much just get a high-leveled Smeargle to be a False Swiper and a Switcheroo Pokemon at the same time. I just don't have it as set up. And I did also want to go and credit where this came from, because we have the infinite AFK Ditto chaining Coming off of Reddit, so Smeargle that knows Recycle, Switcheroo Pokemon with Lepa Berry, Powerful Mon with False Swipe hold back, Litwick that knows only Memento, and then pretty much here is how it goes. So now what I need to do is go and find a Pokemon in the wild that does this. Also, mine's a little modified with that Leftovers, but you will need to have the Lepa Berry on that Pokemon as well. And now, this is a mix of money. You can do it for just the Ditto. You don't have to get the money involved. You don't have to get it for the experience. And boom. Oh my goodness. See, that was all in one take. That would have been a long recording to do over and over. So we just got lucky right there. So now this is when we just kind of go and do the same Ditto method. But if you missed that video for these 6IV Dittos, you use your Adrenaline Orb, you wait for things to happen, and then things are going to get pretty cool. Now, there is a bit of an issue. Like, there is one thing that was brought up in the comments section on Reddit, is that this works until that shiny imposter Ditto mementos itself to death. So that is kind of the only drawback to this. If you're going for shiny Dittos, you can do this method to get a quick up to 40, and then you can go into a normal Pokemon and then start taking it down from there. So the shiny imposter Dittos, also just shiny Dittos in general, will be something to be aware of. That once you see a Ditto that's shiny, you switch out that memento Pokemon immediately because bad things will happen. So we use that. We now have the opposing Ditto now as our Smeargle. Now this is where we go and we bring in the Delmise. I just think it's easier to bring in the Delmise. That way you can switcheroo it right now, get the Lepa Berry in there, false swipe, and then start worrying about the SOS battles. Now, there is a thing, like, you have to switch in at the right time to make sure it works. So the Ditto's just going to randomly use Recycle or randomly use Payday, depending on what's going on. And I don't know why I was in my high items. I need to go and use Switcheroo. So we can go and Switcheroo, give him the Lepa Berry. Am I going to grab Quick Powder? Yeah, that 50% chance or whatever it is for Ditto to have that. So now we go into our False Swipe Pokemon, and I have an Amulet Coin as well. So if you wanted to go even next level, because what I could have done is brought a Happy Hour Pokemon, or also get Smeargle. So you could have a False Swipe, Happy Hour, Switcheroo, Smeargle. You set up the Happy Hour before you go for the False Swipe, and then you're also going to be able to get a lot of damage. Well, not damage, but you know. You're going to be able to get a lot of money that way, because it's doubling all the money you're earning. And now that we have everything the way we need it, we just go into the Muck, we switch it in, and now we will be good to go. So you don't want to use Memento or else your Muck is going to die. That's the obvious one right there. However, there is the Adrenaline Orb thing. And see, as you can see, Payday does 1 damage to me right there. I heal it back up with the Leftovers. And Leftovers doesn't really add too much time. So I believe Payday is like 10 Pokédollars times the level. So I'm going to be getting a pretty solid amount. That means I'm going to be getting 270 Pokédollars doubled, 500, let's say roughly 500 Pokédollars per turn, and you can just kind of drag this on as long as you want to. Now, I know it's not a lot, like 1,000 turns for 500,000 Pokédollars. You can get that just by grinding the Elite Four and stuff. Also, it would double if we did have the Happy Hour. So this is where we go to our Adrenaline Orb, we press A, and now we continue to press A, and we will, that's it. So, once we get into the Imposter Dittos, it'll start going a little faster as well, but he just recycled, and he's going for his Lepa Berry right there, and now, boom, he's just gonna die. I'm losing stats, but it doesn't matter, and as we just see this happen, he's gonna keep recycling, and Ditto's gonna call for help, and then I'm just gonna mash my Adrenaline Orbs, and that's gonna be good. So, the only thing about this is that it's weird. I would say that it's kind of faster because as fast as you're mashing A and you're not like going through attack animations and you're not trying to focus and plan ahead and like trying to get the right timings and stuff, you know, it does take a turn. Like Ditto has to take a turn to transform instead of getting knocked out. Then Ditto also has to take a turn to memento itself, and then you have to hope that the Smeargle Ditto calls for help. But other than that, like as you can see, it's still going fast. I just made a little bit of money. The Payday method does add a bit more time to it, but as you can see, it's pretty negligible. And then just spam the Adrenaline Orbs. So that's another Ditto done. I might actually say that it's faster, and all you have to do is just press A. I personally do the L equals A. I'm right-handed, so now I can still like surf the web, do whatever I need to with my other hand. Don't insinuate anything with that. I mean it. But yeah, now I can just do whatever. Like as long as you're just pressing the L button. If you don't get, like, you might lose a shiny Ditto. That's about the only thing that could happen out of this, because you wouldn't really know if you're not paying attention. But if you're just going for high IV Dittos, you can just do this for a bit of time. You know, calculate the average. As you can see right here, I've been doing this for a while. I actually haven't been keeping track. Okay, so that Ditto just fainted, and it actually just turned on the minute. So Ditto's going to call for help. There's like a chance it won't happen. Okay, its help didn't appear. That's actually good. So let's factor in, it calls for help every other turn, and then every other time of that, you know, there's a chance that it's not going to call for help. So that means we're at 15 seconds already, 0 encounters. If this happens, that means we're going to be doing 2 encounters every minute. And then you can kind of guess that. So after 20 minutes of doing this, just go out and catch that other Ditto. And then that should be enough time. Actually, we're getting a little closer on that 30 seconds, so Ditto's going to transform. Okay, maybe after like 25 minutes. That way we're like ensuring the 6IV Ditto off of this. And yeah, we still have the 81 on the Adrenaline Orbs because it doesn't cost any Adrenaline Orbs. And there we go. So yeah, that took roughly 40 seconds after, you know, not summoning for help, after getting the fail right there. But if this is successful, then it could bring us back into that 2-minute mark. No, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so assume, you know, 1 every 40 seconds, and then you can kind of do the math off that. So if you're just pressing A nonstop for 25, 30 minutes, that's a Ditto. If you're doing this for experience, you just never stop pressing A, and that's good to go. I don't think there's any, like, method for the auto-pressing, though. Like, unfortunately, this isn't, like, hold down one button, or, like, hold down the, yeah, you can't just hold it down and have it automatically happen, which is a little unfortunate. But this also isn't like the infinite daycare loops where you could just hold your stick to one side. That would actually be pretty broken if you could do that. Because then what that means is that you could just like hold down one button and then you'd automatically get A's forever, and then you just come back every 30 minutes and catch a 4, 5, or 6IV Ditto, something like that. I don't know. The button press is pretty hard. I can't imagine any kind of like machine or something that would work for that. But if someone has like an automatic clicking method that isn't like modifying their DS, you could just have this like AFK forever, and then that'd be pretty awesome. See, there we go. That's another Ditto. So we're getting like 2 Dittos in the span of this minute instead of like 1 every 40 seconds. So 1 every 30 seconds on average here. And I'm not even keeping track. Like I said, I don't even care. I'm just gonna mash A, make some money, and catch a good Ditto at the end of the thing. So I guess what I'll do is I'll show when I finally catch this. Do I have enough time though? I am literally uploading this video the second after it comes out. I don't think I have 20 minutes. Like, I want to get this video out by 4:30. I would have to end the video right here. But assume how many, you know, paydays are going to happen. Potentially 100 paydays in the span of getting 40 Ditto. Is that realistic? Because there's the on and off chances. It's a turn for transform, which is a turn for payday. So, I don't know, you could get 100 paydays in 200 paydays in an hour, $500 each. So, I mean, you can still make good money off of this method. I think that's the application right there. Actually, well, I have a free hand. I'm gonna go and look this up right now. So, payday. I did a video on this. I don't remember. Payday Pokemon. Let's go. Let's go and do that. See, I can go off the screen and I can make this happen. So, does Cerebi have how much it gives? Nope, gains coins after battle. Does Bulbapedia have how much it is? I'm pretty sure it's like level based and something like that. I think I already did the math and it was 10. So both can be stacked with either Amulet Coin or Luck Incense. Prize Money Power and Happy Hour increase the amount of money picked up as well. And I guess it is just the, you know, 10 for every level or something. So if you guys enjoyed the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.